Yes, Steve.
This is Steve from Boxing UK in association with Supreme CBD. Alex Krassyuk, lovely to see you again.
Hello.
Hi, Alex. Alex, the last time we spoke, you said Oleksander was on his way to London. And it's on now. How is he? Has he arrived yet?
No, he's still on the way. He's training hard now. I talked to him like an hour ago. He's isolated. He's doing his isolation, but not 10 days, but like 2 months isolation. He's working very hard. He's very focused, very concentrated. He's stuck to the plan of his team, of his trainers, and he's doing his best to keep the focus on the king.
Alex, in the last couple of months, obviously fans have been waiting week after week for the announcement. It became a bit of a joke in the UK because Eddie Hearn would always say 2 days time, and it never came. Can you give us an idea what happened?
Why it took a few weeks? Why it was delayed?
Yeah.
Nothing major. This is probably the biggest fight in boxing, at least for this year. And to make it happen, we need to secure very small details, not huge, but very small details, because we are professionals. We've been in this business for many, many years. We know how it works, and we know that our relations must stay positive, must stay really, good for everyone, no matter what is happening. And to avoid any misunderstandings, we need to settle everything when we are negotiating, when we are formalizing all our agreements and putting them on paper. When you have the major things agreed, you come to the paperwork. And when you deal with lawyers, it means that they are professionals in legal stuff. And there are always some small things that need to be coordinated, that need to be adjusted. And when a contract is like, 15 pages, every page has something to be adjusted. And it's okay. It's nothing, scared, nothing. There was nothing that scared me. It was just a process that took some time, that took its time, and got finalized last week when the contract was signed.
Great. Can you give us an idea what those little things might be, Alex, or are they all confidential?
Well, they are confidential, but let's assume that we were discussing not just one fight. We were discussing the rematch as well.
Right, that was a question later on, Alex. Is there a rematch then?
Yes, there is a rematch, though the conditions are confidential, but this fact is already in media, and I can say that there is a rematch in case Usyk wins, and I'm pretty confident that the rematch clause will be activated after September 25th. And that's why we had to pay some extraordinary attention to this clause and to describe all the small details to avoid any difficulties after September 25.
Brilliant. Was there ever a point where the fight might have not been made, Alex, or was it always going to happen?
The fight is not made yet. It's just the contract that was signed. The fight is made when the boxers come into the ring and the bell rings. Anything may happen, and it always happened in boxing. injury, some things happen, government, COVID. It's a the world of turbulence now. But we still expect it to take place in London at Hotspur's Arena, Tottenham, on September 25th.
Just on Alexander then, was it always the long-term plan, Alex, for the unified title fight heavyweight to be, was that the ultimate aim always?
You mean to make this fight with AJ for Usyk?
Yeah, or just to become a unified heavyweight champion, whether he fought AJ or whether he had to fight Tyson Fury at some point?
No. There was no objective to become a unified. There was a goal to become an undisputed. And unified is just another step to the goal. Fighting AJ was something that was discussed, I don't know, 3 years ago when we made the deal, the co-promotional deal with Eddie. That's what we discussed, and that's what's happening now. So all of us are keeping our words. All of us are acting according to the plan that we worked out. For Usyk, this is a part of his way. I don't know what to say. He's so concentrated on his goal, and when the guy wants something to happen, and he really wants it badly, he has all the potential to complete it.
Indeed. I know you've been to the UK many times, Alex. This is arguably, like you say, this is going to be probably the biggest fight over here. Are you looking forward to coming back over? And is Alexander looking forward to coming back?
Absolutely. Listen, when I was in London for the first time, I came out from the subway. I don't know which station it was. I found myself on the street, and I felt like I was at home. Though the buildings were different, everything was different, but the feeling was like I came back home. Coming back to London is always a huge pleasure. I have a lot of friends there, my close friends. I have partners, business partners. I have some businesses in London, so London is like a relative city for me.
Lovely. Can we talk about the fight itself?
For Usyk,
yeah.
London is a special city. A special city. He became the Olympic champion. The biggest achievement in boxing is to become an Olympic champion, and it happened for him in London. So, becoming the unified should also take place there.
Absolutely. Can I ask you your thoughts on the fight, Alex? And obviously, I know you speak to Alexander probably every day. It's a huge step up, isn't it, from Witherspoon and even Chisora. Is he ready for that?
Absolutely. He's absolutely ready for that. Vitaly Klitschko once said, there is no strongest boxer in the world. The victory is the result of how good you are prepared for the certain passage of 47 minutes. You can be very strong on sparrings. You can have big muscles. You can obtain some extraordinary skills. But if you are not prepared physically, mentally, psychologically, or you had some troubles in the training camp, or you had some injuries, you cannot win the fight. And if you are not winning the fight, your opponent is stronger than you. So it leads everyone to the idea that anything may happen. And the one who works harder is the one to take everything.
I don't know if you check social media, Alex, but the immediate reaction online seems to be it's going to be Alexander Usyk's skills against Anthony Joshua's power. And most British fans are saying Usyk won't be able to stand up to AJ's power. What can you say to British fans to change their minds?
You know, when you have power, it's not sufficient, because you need to place this power somewhere. And to place the power, you have to land a proper punch. And to land the proper punch, you have to have some extraordinary skills. And if a guy in front of you moves like a shadow, it's always very complicated to land your punch and to place your power. And that's why I agree with the idea that it's boxing skills versus the power. But it's also a matter of two mentalities. I mean, the one who wins the psychological war will probably be victorious.
Have you spoken to Alexander about the fight itself, Alex?
Many times.
And what's his thoughts on it? I know you're not going to reveal, but does he have a game plan, and does he see AJ's weaknesses?
You know what? I tell you something. When we first spoke about this fight, when the idea just came up, he said, "But I know how to win. I know." No, he didn't say how to win. He said, "I know how to defeat Anthony. I know what to do." It was very clear. There was no hesitation.
So he's 100% confident, Alex.
500% confident.
Well, we certainly can't wait for it. That's for sure. Can I ask a couple of questions around the fight, Alex? We spoke to Joe Joyce earlier in the week, and he joked with us that Usyk has chosen Joshua for the money.
Usyk has chosen Joshua for heritage. You know, Joe Joyce is a good fighter. He's a strong man. He has probably has a great future. He knows how to fight. He knows how to box. He has big heart. But the only thing that he hasn't got was the championship belts. And that's the reason why Usyk is fighting AJ and not Joe Joyce. That's the only reason.
You said that obviously the aim for Alexander is to become undisputed. To become undisputed, he's got to fight Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. Can I ask your thoughts on that whole situation? The cancellation again, and both of them haven't fought for 18 months.
It's a disaster for boxing. You know, unfortunately, things like that happen more and more often. Will that fight take place? Probably yes, because the arbitration ruling says that this fight has to take place no matter whether there's any belt at stake. On, you know, it just needs to happen. When? No one knows. Now we have the date in October. Will it take place in October? Still no information. Will Wilder win? Will Fury win? We don't know. Will he get injured? I remember the fight of Tyson with Vladimir Klitschko. There was like a very unpredictable result. So Vladimir lost. There was an option for the rematch, which was activated immediately after the fight. But we never saw the rematch. It means that there are more things out of sports that may also take place. And Tyson was stripped. Being the champion already, he was stripped of all of his belts. So there are so many alternatives, but the goal is not to fight Fury or Wilder. The goal is to become the undisputed. And there is absolutely no difference who owns the last belt. The question is when he is ready to fight and to give Usyk the final belt.
In a word, Alex, will Alexander become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
That's what we are working at.
That was more than a word.
Couple
Okay.
less, yeah.
Okay, last one, Alex, I promise. What happens between now and September the 25th?
What happens?
Yes. What happens
between
now?
now and September 25th?
Yeah, for you and Alexander, what's the plan over the next few weeks?
I tell you, everyone is doing his job. Usyk is training hard in a training camp. We are doing sorry, the incoming call was in. Usyk is doing his job, he's training hard. We are doing our job, selling the tickets, marketing the sponsorship, marketing the TV rights, gaining as much profit as possible, because this is what promoters used to do, and it's a responsibility. We are making all the preparations, all the organizational work. Then we come, we do all this media stuff. We come into the ring, Usyk wins, and we travel home.
As simple as that, Alex. Alex, can I ask a silly one at the end?
Yeah, sure.
Alexander's very famous for his messages. Have you got a message for Eddie?
For Eddie?
Yeah. And a message for AJ.
Listen, I'm not the one to issue messages. This is a boxer's responsibility. I'm here just to secure everyone's interests. I am a businessman, and my job is to conduct business properly. So the message is to the boxing fans. And the message is just make sure that you make the booking of your ticket on the first minute when tickets appear on sale, because that's going to be a tremendous problem to get it after.
Well said. Alex, we look forward to welcoming you to the UK in September. I'll let you go because I can imagine the last few days has been really busy for you.
Thank you, Steve. It was my pleasure to talk to you.
Lovely. Alex, thanks for speaking to us again. You keep safe.